Now we are going to answer problems 108 and 109 from the book Strength of Materials by Singer and Peiter, 4th edition. So problem 108, an aluminum rod is rigidly attached between a steel rod and a bronze rod as shown in figure P-108. Axial loads are applied at the positions indicated. Find the maximum value of P that will not exceed a stress in steel of 140 megapascal, in aluminum of 90 megapascal, or in bronze of 100 megapascal. Okay, so let us first see what are given. We have the stresses for steel, aluminum, and bronze. So we have the stress for steel, 140 megapascal, stress for aluminum, 90 megapascal, and allowable stress for bronze is 100 megapascal. We're also given the cross-sectional areas of each rod. We have steel, 500 square millimeters. For aluminum, it's 400 square millimeters. And for bronze, it's 200 square millimeters. Also here, this one, this, and this. So since we're given the area and the allowable stress, we can also determine the allowable internal force that each material can carry. Like for example, for steel, this is equal to the allowable stress times the cross-sectional area. So our steel rod can carry up to 70,000 newtons. So P sub ST is 7,000. And we can do the same. By the way, again, this is the allowable internal force that the steel can carry. So it should not exceed 70,000 newtons. We'll do the same for the other materials. We'll just change the subscript to AL, and we have our maximum internal force that the aluminum rod can carry. It's 36,000 newtons. And for the bronze, it's 20,000 newtons. Okay, now we are going to solve the value of P here in the problem. So I think I will start with the bronze because it's easier when so I've cut a section here. So I'll remove this part. Okay, so this is the right side of the section. You can see it's not in equilibrium because there's a force 2P that would tend to move this to the left. And to prevent that, there should be an internal force that goes in the opposite direction. And we can call this P sub BR. And by summation of horizontal forces, in summation of forces horizontal equals 0, you can say 2 times P is equal to P sub BR. So P equals P sub BR divided by 2. So we have our P equals 10,000 newtons. So this means that if P is 10,000 newtons, the bronze will have an internal force of 20,000 newtons. So how about the other materials? By the way, this is for the bronze. Okay, let's do aluminum. So let's cut a section here from the aluminum and determine the internal force for the aluminum. Okay, so looking at the free body diagram, we have a force 2P to the left and another force P to the right. So there's a net force of P going to the left. That means the internal force for the aluminum should be going to the right, or compression. Let's call that P sub AL. Then we'll do summation of forces horizontal equals 0. We'll have P sub AL plus P minus 2 times P equals 0. So P minus 2P is minus P, and then we are going to transpose that to the right, becomes positive. That means our P is just equal to P sub AL. So that means P here equals 36,000. So we have another value for that. Means if we are going to apply a force of 36,000, the aluminum will reach its maximum internal force of 36,000 newtons. And for the steel rod, let's cut a section here, okay? And we'll remove the left side, so we'll have our free body diagram. So let's look at the external loads: 4P to the left, another 2P to the left, and there's P to the right. So there's a net force of 5P to the left. That's because that's 4P plus 2P, 6P minus P is 5 to the left. That means our internal force here should be directed to the right. So it's compression again. We will call that P sub ST. And we'll do summation of forces horizontal equals 0. We will have P sub ST minus 4 times P plus P minus 2 times P equals 0. That will give us P sub ST equal to 5 times P. And we solve for P. P equals P sub ST divided by 5. And we'll have our P equals 14,000 newtons. So which is the correct value? Problem says find the maximum value. So we have to be careful with the word maximum here because maximum doesn't always mean the bigger answer. What it means is that the biggest P that the whole system can carry. Let's erase this one. So we have 3 possible answers. P equals 10,000, 36,000, and 46,000 newtons. And the correct answer, the maximum load, is this one. P equals 10,000 newtons. Why? Because if we are going to apply P equals 10,000 newtons, what will happen is this bronze here, this bronze here is going to fail first. So at 10,000 newtons, P sub BR, or the internal force, will reach 20,000 newtons, and that's its maximum. So more than 10,000 will exceed 20,000. That means this bronze rod will fail. So therefore, there is no more force P more than this. There is no 10,001 newtons. There's no 14,000. There's no 36,000, because at 10,000 or more than 10,000, the system is going to fail. Specifically this part here, the bronze part. Okay? Again, our final answer is P equals 10,000 newtons or 10 kilonewtons. Next problem, problem 109. Determine the largest weight, W, that can be supported by the two wires shown in the figure P-109. The stress in either wire is not to exceed 30 KSI, kilopounds per square inch. The cross-sectional areas of wires AB and AC are 0.4 square inch and 0.5 square inch, respectively. So we're given the stress in each wire that is not to exceed 30 KSI. So we have stress for AB is 30 KSI and stress for AC is 30 KSI also. We're also given the cross-sectional area of each wire. We have for AB 0.4 square inch and for AC 0.5 square inch. So from here, we can determine the maximum internal force each wire can carry, just like the previous problem. So P sub AB is stress times area equals 12 kips, and P sub AC is stress AC times area AC. P sub AC equals 15 kips. Again, these values for P sub AB and P sub AC are the maximum internal force for each wire. This is not the actual internal force for each wire yet. But most students would make a mistake of using this in the solution. PAB equals 12 and PAC equals 15. Because if you are going to draw the free body of the joint A, we are going to cut these wires. It's going to be replaced by the internal forces, and this one here, the internal forces P sub AB and P sub AC. Now, the student might be tempted to do summation of forces vertical. Summation of forces vertical equals 0 because I already have P sub AB and P sub AC. Therefore, I can solve W. So from summation of forces vertical, considering upward forces as positive, we'll have the vertical component of PAB, P sub AB times sine of 30 degrees plus P sub AC times sine of 50 degrees minus W, which is going downwards, equals 0. So W equals the sum of the vertical components equals 17.491, which is wrong. This is not the correct answer. You can see there's an answer here. It says 17.1, or you might just say it's close, it's 17.5. But this solution is wrong because you are using the maximum allowable internal forces for each wire. You're assuming that this system will fail so that both wire will fail together simultaneously because both will reach its maximum of 12 and 15 kips, which is not always the case. So what we're going to do is to find a relation between P sub AB and P sub AC first and determine the actual values for each. And we can do that by summing up forces horizontal. So we'll have an equation that involves only P sub AB and P sub AC. So we'll do summation of forces horizontal equals 0, considering forces to the right as positive. So forces to the right, that would be P sub AC times cosine of 50 degrees. So that's the horizontal component of PAC minus the one going to the left is PAB cosine of 30 degrees equals 0. So let's transpose the second term to the right side of the equation. Our relation now becomes PAC times cosine 50 degrees is P sub AB times cosine 30 degrees. From here, we will be able to determine the actual internal forces of each of the wire. So from here, we are going to check which of the wire is going to fail first. Let's say, for example, wire AB will reach 12 kips, or wire AB will fail first. Okay? So that is if PAB will be 12 is maximum. So if PAB will reach maximum, how much is AC? That will be this divided by this. So PAC equals 16.17 kips. And this is actually more than 15 kips because maximum for AC is 15 kips. So this is 16.2. That's more than 15. So that means if PAB is 12, PAC is 16. So this is not possible. So that means PAC should fail first. Let's see. If PAC will reach its maximum of 15 kips, how much is PAB? From here, PAB is this one divided by this. And PAB is 11.1 kips. That's less than 12. So this is okay because our PAB will have a maximum of 12, and this one is only 11.1. So that means the actual internal forces are PAB equals 11.13 kips and PAC will reach its maximum of 15 kips. So now we can use this equation. Let's put it here. The values will update and we get our answer for W 17.06 or 17.1 kips. So it's not 17.5 but 17.1, which is the answer. Okay. So next we will answer problem 110 and problem 111. Okay. So sure to like, share, and follow.